What are we doing here? What do we got?
All right, we're here with Stanford's offensive coordinator, Mike Bloomgren, and before we get to the avalanche of praise for this offense and this offensive line, I have to ask, how tough was it to find things to work on this week from that offensive line?
You know what? It's such a great week to have a bye week at this time. Number one, we're getting healthy. That's the biggest thing. Our focus is getting healthy. And then we've got some great offensive linemen that are young and don't get enough reps. And we're really spending a lot of time with them in terms of them getting the 5-on-4 work, the 9-on-7 work, and the 1-on-1. So it was kind of a throwback to training camp today. It was a lot of fun.
So can you just talk about maybe some of those young guys who are progressing?
Yeah, I think getting Foster Sorrell every rep we can is so valuable, you know, and you see him out here doing some really good things. And then Henry had us at the other tackle spot, and then getting Drew Dahlman and Dylan Powell. You know, Dylan Powell got his first meaningful snaps. He was in a short yards and goal line the other night, so that's a lot of fun to have him in there. And now have him over the ball and acting like the center leading the offense is cool.
With David Bright, the talk has always been about versatility and how important it is for have guys that can do multiple things. Is Foster getting some of that extra looks at other places, or is he basically still been at tackle?
Right now, we're just working Foster at tackle. Okay. Right now, yeah. David Bright's our jack of all trades for sure right now, our Swiss Army knife, if you will.
And kind of piggybacking off of that, it's based off of what Coach Shaw was talking about this morning. There was a lot that was great about the offensive line performance on Saturday, but it was kind of like, thank goodness for someone like David Bright.
Thank goodness.
Can you talk about how critical it was what he did Saturday, and what was the level of difficulty of what the line had to go through on Saturday?
You know, I think anytime you're playing a defense that's built in a pro style, that's two-gapping and running 3-4-1 snap, and then all these different pressures the next, and all the things you have to handle within our system alone, there's so much. And there's so much that we love to have the practice time, the individual time, and to really talk about hand placement and drill. And then, oh yeah, Dave, go to the other position you haven't worked at all week and do a great job there for us. And that's exactly what he did. So, you know, he played left guard, left tackle, played right tackle on the short yards and goal line stuff. And, you know, we joked around today, you know, it's the bye week, so we had him snap a few footballs. We'd love to get him at center one time, but we'll see if that ever happens.
So it was a little bit more of a reliance on the pass game against Oregon. And so can you talk about what led to that decision? What about their defense dictates that?
You know, we're always we're always trying to take advantage of what a defense gives you. That's the bottom line. We go into a game plan, and our desire is to be balanced like you saw the other night. But if we're going to be able to hit some runs early and then jump into a balanced game plan, that's pretty good for us. We'll take that, you know, and I think you saw that. I don't know exactly what the breakdown was, but 250-something, 260-something, 250, that's a good place to live. We'll be very happy.
So I think you've changed some hearts and minds in terms of the end zone fade calls. I think they're a lot more popular now than they have been in the past.
Well, that's good.
Can you just talk about just that play? And obviously you've got the personnel where it seems like a pretty good idea to go to it.
You know, it seems like you don't even have to be at Stanford, I think, to understand that 5'7" versus 6'7" is a good matchup. You know, when we're the 6'7" in that equation, and that's exactly what Colby is. He does such a good job posting up and going and making plays. And I thought JJ on the first one made an unbelievable one-handed catch. And we kind of did it all day. I think what you saw with JJ is him starting to come in and really be that dominant receiver. Now, we still want more from JJ. I think he had a good game, maybe even a really good game. But we're trying to be perfect for each other. And so you take the one he dropped on their sideline and obviously the one in the end zone that gave away points. And those are big mistakes. And that's going to keep JJ hungry and keep him working so that we can be elite. And that's exactly what we're trying to be.
Coach Shaw gave Keller an A grade, which means not much left that he did in that game to improve upon. Was wondering your take on some really like NFL quality throws he made in that game, and if it's a confidence thing or if it's just a rhythm thing that has improved for him.
You know, I think it's everything, but I think it starts with confidence. Confidence, as we talk about out here all the time, is a decision worth making. And, you know, I think he has made that decision and realizes I have all the tools, I can do this. To see him go out there on that first throw down our sideline to JJ, what a great throw. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of room left. Threw it right where it needed to be, and JJ made a great play on it, and I think we saw that all game. But the thing that gets lost now with Keller playing such a great game is what he did in the run game, getting us to the right play, managing everything. So, again, it's not just the throws. Now, that's what the quarterback gets noticed the most for, and we get that. But he threw the heck out of the ball and did a great job all around. But you say there's not much left to do?
Yeah.
It's a new week. We got to do it again. We need another A performance.
So just one last thing. With the development of Keller and things unfolding, it seemed like there's a lot more happening in the intermediate passing game, a lot more slant routes, timing, stuff like that. Has that kind of been the blueprint at this point, or is that just he showing you that that's where it should go?
No, it's our offense, right? It's a West Coast-based offense. It's always going to have the crossers and always going to have 4 verticals as a component as well. So that's just what our offense is based on. Those are our core plays, the ones that we've done since day 1, 2, or 3 of training camp, and the ones we're most comfortable with. So I think you're always going to have us having success with those, but it is great when they show up and you're 15 of 17 or whatever we were on those concepts. That's great.
And my last thing is, the Bryce Love Heisman website got launched today. If you had to tell someone like one thing to go look at that website that maybe they don't know about Bryce, what would that be?
I don't know that website can show that right now. I would actually take my phone out and I would video some of our runs, some of the runs where he's running inside in between the tackles and where things are dirty. Because we all see when it's blocked well and he finishes in the end zone 8 seconds later from 80 yards or whatever the heck it is. What you're not noticing, or the casual fan may not be noticing, is that when it's dirty, when somebody's falling off a block and he runs through the first one, then he drags the second and the third one, and now it's an 8-yard run, or don't let him get out of it, because once again, he can go the distance.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Cool. Absolutely.